Good evening, students. Welcome to one more session of your WOC. Right, so we have been doing grade 10 syllabus. As you have already seen 2 chapters which you have done. I think you've all enjoyed watching the videos. Right, so basically the concept of WOC, those who have newly joined, the concept is like this. So every line of NCERT is taught with different examples. Point number 1. Second, the activity which is given in the NCERT textbook will be given in the form of an animated video at the end of the regular teaching. Point number 2. Point number 3 is NCERT question and answers also will be solved according to the topic taken. So this is the specialty of WOC, the world of chemistry, where nothing is left out. So everything will be covered. The 360-degree analysis of the chapter will be done from my side. So here I'll be starting with the 3rd chapter, that is metals and non-metals of your NCERT textbook. So the same syllabus is valid for the CBSE boards as well as the state boards also, as NCERT book is common for all over India. Right. So when we come to metals and non-metals, which is the 3rd chapter, let us first recollect what are the first chapter. First chapter was chemical reactions and equations, isn't it? Right. After that we have studied about a chapter called acid, bases and salts. Then we are coming to the topic called metals and non-metals, right? So in metals and non-metals, we'll be going or understanding a series of reactions of where metal is reacting, non-metal is reacting. We'll find the similarities, we'll find the differences, everything. Let's see the index first, right? So when I have to see the index of metals and non-metals, basically you'll be studying about the uses of metals and non-metals in daily life. A general question, if they ask you for 1 or 2 marks, uses of metals and non-metals, that will be taught to you with different examples. After that, I'll be teaching the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Now, what is the specialty here? Here, I'll be dividing into metals and non-metals bifurcation. After that, I'll be teaching you the different examples. I'll be teaching you the exceptions. I'll be marking it with a star mark. All these things will be useful for your examination. So, when you're learning physical properties of metals or non-metals, if I say, the complete analysis of the topic will be there in that. The video will be a little bit lengthier, but don't worry, everything of NCERT is covered in that and you'll have a complete analysis, a clear idea of that. Right. After that, we'll be studying about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In that, we'll be seeing the reaction of metals and non-metals with oxygen. Right, so oxygen and non-metal reactions, we will see that also. Reaction with water, reaction of metal with solutions of other metals, means copper with zinc sulfate, like that. After that, I'll be showing you the reaction of metals and non-metals together. If they react, what are electrovalent compounds, what is electron dot structure, right? So this is the basic thing. After this, we have some more. Let us come and write. Till then, what you all do, take your book, note it, note the index. What is the use of writing an index? Whenever you write an index, as I tell to my students, it's easy. During examination, you have studied this topic, you can put a tick like this. You studied, put a tick. If you have seen this heading, reaction with oxygen, you can write the reaction then and there and put a tick. That's the advantage. Let's come and see the remaining half of the metals and non-metals chapter. Right, now let us see the next part of the index which you have for the chapter. So here, after those reactions with the oxygen and high about this one, water, reaction with metal solutions, reaction of metal with non-metal, let us see, we'll be studying about properties of ionic compounds. Here in this particular chapter, you'll be introduced the concept of ionic compounds, where the concept will be carried forward in PU1, PU2 or the 11th and 12th also. You'll be known, I think in grade 9th also you know what is cation and anion. We have studied, isn't it? Polyatomic ions we have studied. Okay. So here we'll be studying about the properties of ionic compounds, where we'll be studying about the physical nature of ionic compounds, whether they are solids, whether they are liquids, whether they're gaseous. I'll be giving lots and lots of examples in that. I'll be also giving you what are the gaseous non-metals which are there. Yes. Then after that, we'll be studying about the melting point and boiling point. Then I'll be teaching you about the solubility concept. So solubility, again, we'll be talking whether metals are soluble in organic organic solvents or inorganic solvents. I'll tell you what that is also. I'll give you a clear idea, don't worry students. After that, I'll be teaching you about conduction of electricity. So here in solid state, whether does it conduct, molten state, whether it is conducting, everything we'll be studying the concept. Right, keep noting in your books and keep understanding. Any doubt if you have, you can ask me. Right, after that, in occurrence of metals, this is one more concept. The same concept will be continued again in your grade 12th in the name of the topic general principles and isolation of metals. So if you understand the concept here, gradually that will be the higher level, that is nothing but metallurgy chapter in grade 12th. Right, so in this chapter, in occurrence of metals, we'll be teaching about enrichment of metals. Enrichment means nothing. You're going to take the mineral, you're going to take out all the gangue particles, you'll make it concentrated, where from the ore we extract the metal. After that, I'll be teaching about extraction of metals, most important, low reactivity metals, middle reactivity metals, and high reactivity. Ma'am, what is this? I'll be teaching you about a reactivity series. I think in chapter 1 also I have taught you in displacement reaction about the metal reactivity series. You can watch. Here also I'll be teaching you what is metal reactivity series. After that, I'll be teaching you about refining of metals. I'll be teaching a concept called what is anode mud in that. So refining of metals using both the graphite or the carbon electrodes, where one will be the impure metal, one would be the pure metal, that also I'll be teaching. After that, I'll be teaching about corrosion and prevention. This concept of corrosion was taught to you all in the first chapter, that is chemical reactions and equations. There I have taught you about what is corrosion, what are the methods to prevent corrosion. The same topic will be repeated but little bit extra information. So this is your whole chapter, students. So remember, always whenever a video is uploaded, that particular video for any YouTuber to make a video or to make you all understand the pain which we take, it is immense. See, it's not simply take the textbook, read. No, we take a lot to make you all understand. See, we provide you quality content. We see that it is reaching each and every student. So I request you, all the 5 chapters of chemistry will be uploaded from my side. Everything will be done. As I said, 100% of NCERT textbook will be done. Please watch all the videos. So the gap of 2 days, I'll be uploading the videos. You can watch it. So let us come and start with the first topic of your lesson of the metals and non-metals, that is uses of metals and non-metals in our daily life. So keep your book ready. Take one separate register. Note it as WOC, as my grade 12 students used to do. WOC stands for World of Chemistry, and start noting each and every video. Right? Thank you for watching. I'll meet you again with the next topic. What did I say? I said the uses of metals and non-metals. Right, students, so welcome to the first video of the chapter, that is uses of metals and non-metals. First of all, before going into the uses, let us first understand what actually are the metals. Right, so I'll list out the metals which you will be using it daily. So remember, always whenever I have to say something as a metal important, they will have a shining surface. Lustrous means they'll be having that shining or bright surface. There are few exceptions I accept, like that. The surfaces which are hard, also hard and shiny or hard and lustrous, are called metals. Examples. First let us see the examples, then go to the properties. For example, basic, every girl rather, or even you all boys, you wear the anklets which you have. Girls also will wear jewelry. So what is it made up of? It's made up of gold, isn't it? It's also made up of, if you wear the anklets, gold ornaments is one category. You will also be wearing brass, copper. It's a different varieties of that. Again, brass is an alloy. Let us not get confused. First understand, metals are those which will have shiny surface and which are hard. Not everything, few exceptions I'll explain. So if I have to take the example, the simplest example is in that metal, let us list out 2 metals and non-metals. Okay, so here, as I said, metals, first gold, along with gold, silver, iron, aluminium, magnesium, copper, tin, tungsten, calcium, lithium, sodium, potassium, whole lot and lot. In the periodic table on the left hand side, full of metals only you have. Right, zinc, Lot. If I have to speak about the non-metals are those which are dull finished. They're very dull in nature and they are soft in nature. And next important, there are few exceptions that also I'll explain. So non-metals will fall on the right hand side of the periodic table. Ma'am, what is periodic table? See, just like your classroom, you're placed in your classroom, isn't it? You sit. So when you're giving attendance, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, chemical elements also are given a classroom that is nothing but the periodic classification, periodic table. In that, everything has a roll number from roll number 1 to 115, 118 also. So in that way, metals and non-metals are distributed in the periodic table. So let us write some examples. So in your house, the basic example which you will be using it every day, nothing but the graphite. The pencil lead is there, no? Graphite. What is it made up of? It is made up of carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, nitrogen, oxygen, bromine, chlorine, iodine. Okay, right? Most important, I'll write a bigger one. I think I'll write the important one here, oxygen. Okay, then next comes one more important, silica, Si. Right, then what else is there? Chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine. Right, I think a lot of examples. So phosphorus, it will be as P4, sulfur as S8 molecule. Done. Here also I'll write it with little bit, I'll use red pen here. Okay, why I'm using red pen, I'll tell you. Aluminium, I'm using red pen. Iron also I'm using red pen. Okay, now see, why did I write it with red pen? Let us understand. Among all these bundles of metals and non-metals available in the Earth's crust, remember, aluminium is the first which receives, or the most abundant metal. This question is asked. So among the metals available, aluminium constitutes 7% of the Earth's crust. So the first most abundant element is aluminium. Let us write that. So let us write most abundant metal. So most abundant metal in aluminium, this is the first place. When it comes to the second position, so I'll write second most abundant metal. Second most abundant metal. So this is the first most abundant metal. The second most abundant metal is iron, which constitutes 4% so of the Earth's crust. So in your exam, remember these two things. They will ask you first most abundant metal and second most abundant metal for you all. Right. Now when it comes to the non-metals, the first most abundant metal is oxygen. This is the first most abundant. This gets the first prize in the occurrence or presence. Everywhere oxygen is there. Next, after that, the second most abundant is silica. Silica is the second most. So remember, this is very important for you all. Now, I have written the list of metals. Then I have written list of non-metals. Then I have also learned which is abundant. First abundant metal, more abundant means more available. Next most also I have written. In non-metals also, which is first most abundant, second most abundant I have written. Now I have to understand or speak about the uses. That is, what is the concept, isn't it? Right. So if I have to speak about the uses, only, I think it's easy, you can only say. If I have to speak about, first thing, let us see. Gold, it is used in the jewelry, correct? Next, silver also. You use silver plates, glasses, everything. So it is used in the form of an ornament also, right? Then iron, where it is not used, the hardest material, as we said. So iron, because of its nature, it is used in the vehicle bodies, cars, everywhere. Iron, wherever your big bridges also are constructed. So iron is, because of its malleable nature, it has tremendous uses. Then comes aluminium wires, magnesium. You use it in the form of a magnesium ribbon in labs, copper wires, tin, tungsten, calcium, lithium. So sodium, yes, in sodium I think for producing sodium chloride also sodium is used. Then zinc, for galvanization of zinc we'll be using the process of galvanization. So like that, every metal has a lot of uses. So I'll be listing out all the uses. Please note it. Next thing, as I said, the end of the video there'll be an animated video. In that, all the uses along with the images and very attractive pictures will be there. As of now, note it and watch the video, animated video. You'll enjoy and you'll also remember that for long, right? So when it comes to the non-metals, as we know, carbon is that non-metal which is present in almost all the biomolecules of our body, like proteins, carbohydrates, fats, amino acids. So our body is constituted with the carbon, as we said, hydrocarbons, isn't it? So where carbon is not there. Next comes this one, oxygen. Okay, let us say take sulfur. Sulfur is used for making the rubber. See, your rubber tires are there, no? So to make it more like flexible, or to make it more durable, they'll be adding 4% sulfur. So like that, sulfur. Then if I have to say, okay, oxygen I have written twice. Then if I have to say oxygen is the main constituent for our human life, isn't it? So oxygen, I think, there's nothing to explain, but I'll show you in the animated video. So like that, every non-metal has application. So this is where is important. But in the examination point of view, what are they going to ask you? You need to know, basically, suppose if I have to say, okay, the following metal is used, the application the following metal is seen in 1, 2, 3, 4 options they'll give. For example, iron metal we'll take. So iron metal, option 1, it is used in the car bodies or vehicles. Option 2, it is used for conducting electricity. Option C, they'll give you it is or it cannot be drawn into wires. Option D, it can be drawn into wires. So like that, they'll combine all the properties and give you as an MCQ. Don't worry, we will do that. So as of now, note all the metals and non-metals, right, students? This is a basic video which you need to understand. After that, please watch the animated video for the uses of non-metals. But remember, the most abundant metal is what? Aluminium. The second most abundant metal is nothing but iron. First most abundant non-metal is oxygen. Second most abundant non-metal is silica. So this is the first video. So please, you can just from the second video, that is physical properties, the videos will be a little bit lengthier. Thank you for watching. I'll meet you again with the next most important video, that is physical properties of metals and non-metals. Be ready with your book. Make 2 lines, one for metals, one for non-metals. We will learn slowly, understanding everything.